Welcome to this edition of the Art Review. I'm reporting from the Royal Society of Portrait Painters here at the Mall Galleries in London. On the famous Mall, behind me is Buckingham Palace, and so much is going on here with artists from all over the world submitting their artworks for this annual historic competition at the Royal Society of Portrait Painters.
So these two portraits make up part of a triptych. Initially, the plan for this portrait was it was going to be one single painting, similar in style to Van Dyck's portrait of Charles I in three positions. These portraits were commissioned by the father, who is going to see them today for the first time, and he's going to bring his wife along, and his wife doesn't know that these portraits have been commissioned, so I can't wait to see her reaction. I've been submitting work to the Royal Society of Portrait Painters for the last 10 years. This exhibition is the highlight of my year.
This is my portrait of Professor Helen Moore, who's the president of Corpus Christi College in Oxford. And it's a commission that has been over a year in the making and came through the Royal Society of Portrait Painters, where we are today. I wanted to show some of my working process in this exhibition. So I've included the layout or the life drawing that I did of Helen. I think the Royal Society of Portrait Painters exhibition is always an event that everybody looks forward to. I remember when I used to come in and look at works on the wall, and there's always one or two pieces that you really remember very vividly. They just open up an idea in your head. If you look around on the walls, there's just such a varied approach to technique, to methodology. For me, it's particularly interesting. There's a portrait on the wall over there that's a portrait of myself by a fellow painter called Francis Bell.
Miriam and I are colleagues here at the RP. We're both members, and I couldn't resist the opportunity when she came to stay with me of more or less making her sit for me. So this other painting is of Rose Hulse. Rose is a very successful tech entrepreneur, but also has a very old soul, and she is attracted to all those Edwardian aesthetics. It was a real treat to build complex composition that was also at heart about a true personal portrait. So it's a big glamorous picture, but really I was focused on Rose.
So these are three brothers, quite close in age. They're designed to be paintings that are seen by themselves. Eventually they will be split up. When the kids get older, they can take their own portrait. So it was important to me to treat each one as an individual piece by itself.
So this is a portrait of Jane Royal, the Baroness, the principal of Somerville College. I'm very proud of this portrait. And the background here, I wanted to leave slightly unfinished to show that the future is not visible yet, but it's bright and it's beautiful. It means a lot to me to be part of this exhibition. Every year you see how beautiful works are, and it's so inspiring and motivating, and I can't wait to go back to my studio and paint again, actually.
It's not an obvious painting in an exhibition like this. This is a couple, sisters, that I painted about 10, 15 years ago, and they kindly agreed to sit for me again. What attracted me to them was the intensity of their relationship when they were together.
These are my two portraits for this year's RP show. And this one is of Alice, who's a friend of mine, who's actually an upcoming portrait painter herself. I've been associated with the RP since 1991, when I first showed here. It was one of the first exhibitions I entered, and I entered a self-portrait, I think, at that time. And I won an award for the best portrait by an artist under 35.
This painting is the first in a series of paintings of people affected by rising sea levels caused by climate change in various countries in the global south. And it is the absolute issue of our times. And I think using portraiture as a way of disseminating important global issues is a very, very powerful way of doing that. It's really fantastic to be a member of the Royal Society of Portrait Painters. It is one of the oldest painting institutions in the UK and actually in the world. And it has a very, very long tradition of being the home of some of the finest exponents of portraiture, not just in the UK, but internationally.
That was some experience here at the Royal Society of Portrait Painters, interviewing so many incredible artists from around the world about the quality of their work, looking at some of the prize winners. This competition is held every year. It's one of the oldest in the world, and they help young emerging artists to the great and the good of the art world. It's an extraordinary experience, and it was a privilege to be here for the Art Review. See you next time.